All right, so continuing on with 9-5 notes here. So we figured out in this first example that in order to get to that negative 24 that we were working with, we used multiplication. So we filled in that first star with multiplying to get to the last term. And then we used addition to get to that negative 5x or that middle term. So that's going to come in handy as we work through some other examples here. And just keeping in mind that all of this is important and all of this relates back to other stuff we've been doing because factoring is the undoing of double distribution. So, some steps for success for my humans that enjoy steps. The first way you're going to approach every single one of these questions that you're dealing with today is you're going to list the whole number factors from your calculator table. And we reviewed how to get that calculator table previously, and I think it was 9-2, but I'll go over it briefly. We just aren't going to write it down this time. And then the second step is once you have your factors written down, you're going to pick the pair that adds to the middle term. All right, so right away, go into your calculator here, turning it on, of course. So to get those factors, we're going to y equals, and the number I want the factors of is that constant, or that last one, that c value, that plus 28. So into my calculator goes 28 divided by, and using the xt theta n button to get that divide by x. Second and graph gets me the table. And again, I'm ignoring any non-whole number points, and you can usually ignore the first one, the one in the whatever the number is, just because I think it's blatantly obvious if it would be that one. Okay, so I'm going to write that down because that's how you show work. We're going to go over how to show work in a hot second, but showing work would be writing down your factors. So 2 and 14, 4 and 7, and when you're looking through it, you don't need to continually go all the way. Once you start to see your factors repeat each other, you're good to go and you can be done with that. All right, so I'm trying to get this into being two binomials. So I always like to start off with that shell of my two parentheses. In order to get up to an x squared, the first two pieces have no choice but to be x. That's the only way I'm going to multiply to get that x squared. So I can always fill those in nicely also. Now here, to add to or to multiply to 28, we have either 2 or 14 and 4 and 7. But we need to add to a negative 11 in the middle. Adding to a negative 11 in the middle eliminates 2 and 14 because 14 plus 2 is 16 and 14 minus 2 would be 12, and neither of those are 11. So that means I have to be working with 4 and 7, which makes sense because 7 plus 4 is 11. Now I need to multiply up to a positive number. So my only options for multiplying up to a positive number are either negative negative or positive positive. And to add to a negative 11, it has to be negative numbers because I can't take two positive numbers and add them and magically make it negative. Therefore, my two binomials are x minus 4 and x minus 7. And again, you can always check yourself by doing that double distribution real quick. X squared minus 4x minus 7x plus 28. And you usually don't even really need to go much further just to see that it does work out. So that's basically the gist of it.